broken baker, where crimes are baked in every show, mysteries rise and truth unfolding. Ready, set, it's time to go. We sing it's time to go. Whistling through this battering news, mix the story solving the lies. In this kitchen, secrets are broken with a spark in our eyes. In the broken baker's kitchen, where secrets crumble like sunrise, we'll sift through clues to find a nose. With a spark in our eyes, in broken arise. Broken arise. Welcome to the broken baker. Get ready. Let's go.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever you are. And welcome to this little introduction to being Danish, because it's Memorial Day in the Americas. And I thought I would do a little streaming if anyone was sitting at home. And I thought, what should I stream about? We did the Q&A yesterday, so I thought, let's find some things people are saying about the Danish and laugh at it, because it's absolutely not true, any of it. We are the most sensible people on earth. Maybe. Hey, Sophia Stalin and Fedorowski. Fedorowski have a new video out today. If anyone needs a little calm me down after this one, so you can relax, not because it's... Shouldn't say it like that. Fedorowski have a great video out today. You should all watch that. Hey, Whiskey. And Iris. Iris is studying Danish and is now up to knowing the most important word. Kan jeg bede om 2 kolde øl? Can I have 2 cold beers? Hey, Scott McGinnis and T-Rex. How are we doing? Have you survived Dollywooding? Hey, Panella. I'm here to teach you about half of you. The other half I can't teach you about because no one knows what Sweden is about. Just begin your 30-mile bike ride. Thank you in advance for keeping me company. Well, hereway to Stephen. That's very Danish of you, riding a bike. Hello, Melody. How are you doing? You're catching me and Tommy on replay. Great to see you two on his morning stream. Loving it. It was great to have some time. Finally, I had some time to talk. Jamie, I posted the link in the... Didn't I? I'm going to post a link now, Jamie. Sorry if I didn't. I thought I did. In my mind, I posted a link. No, it's nice not to have anything to do early this morning, so I had time. Oh, that's the wrong stream. Have the time to talk to Tommy and hear what he was thinking about the whole Karen Reed debacle. I was just doing an interview with a guy. There it is. Jamie's so mean to me already. I'm talking to a guy who didn't really know the case, but he's been up interviewing people there to learn about the facts and the case, and we were kind of agreeing that it looks weird on the face of it. Happy UN birthday. Is it the UN's birthday today? I'm not the biggest fan of the UN because I had friends who were deployed with the UN. Weird rules. D. Robinson, how are you doing? Fedorowski's latest Avaldnes. Wendy H. Yeah, just say that. Jeg giver en omgang. You'll be very popular. But no, I thought, why not do some cultural learning and enrichment of the Americans? Because, let's face it, most of you can't even find Denmark on a map. So let's do that. Hey, Betsy. Well, it's fun to hang out with people who are cool and easy to talk to. And Tom is a good sport. I like talking to him, but it always gets a little when we're covering the same case. It's it gets a little hard to do because I need my sleep before the stream. What's Denmark? It's the best place on earth, the only sexual arousing landmass. Don't speak that. Only Jamie speaks that mean to me. No, but what is a Dane? A Dane is a person living in Denmark. We are not a Danish. That's a piece of pastry, which we don't call Danish. We call it Wienerbrød, which we named after a city in Vienna, Austria. So why it's Danish in America, I don't know. Maybe because some Danish baker went over there and you put cheese in it just to make us hate you more. It's a weird thing. But what is people saying about the Danes? Well, I found this one. This is from a university. Apparently, we are very patriotic because have you ever noticed the Danish flag, the only sexual arousing flag in the world? Well, it's kind of hard not to do it in Denmark when it's stuck out on every birthday cake, flying off mast in suburbia, and waved at airports to greet people's homecoming. That's true. You will never ever see a birthday without tons of flags. And I have a few of them myself. Actually, today in my HOA, we had a birthday, so everyone puts out a flag to celebrate people's birthdays. But why do we do it? Are we patriotic? They're definitely proud of being Danes. We're very proud of being Danes. And we're proud of our flag because it's the world's oldest still used flag. He says the stereotype is false because the way I see it, identity, pride, and patriotism are two different things, but also true because, well, some Danes are patriotic and react strongly to anyone who finds fault with their country. Yes, there are no faults with Denmark. That's why we find it so hard to believe people will say stuff like, we pay too much taxes, we trust the government too much. It's not true. We trust them just enough. But no, you can't have any birthday, you can't have any celebration, you can't have anything without a Danish flag being raised because we're very proud of our flag. I have like 5 or 6 flags right in my room right now. And actually, God gave it to us, so why shouldn't we use it? The oldest US state flag, amazing. How big is the state of Denmark? We'll get to that. You didn't know Dane and not Danish. Glad I turned in. Well, I'll hopefully teach you something. I like calling you a Danish because you're crusty on the outside and soft on the inside. Well, I'm pretty soft on the outside too. Is Denmark's wealth a stark contrast? Weather a stark contrast after a week in Knoxville? No, actually, weather has been fine. Tomorrow is tomorrow it should be raining a lot, so that'll be just like Knoxville. Do bakers have the hottest buns? Well, we have a saying about that, but we can't really translate it. We celebrated muffins today. Why? We are also, on our flags are very similar. We just have another blue cross inside the white cross. Yeah, that's because when you have a perfect flag like the Danish, everyone wants to use it. Actually, did you know before the Star Spangled Banner, which is a flag, I don't know why you call it a banner, they were actually looking at a cross design, kind of like the Danish one. Things you don't know, even if you're American. Isn't the current Danish flag about 800 or so years old? It fell from the sky in... Oh. It fell from the sky the 15th of June, 1219. In Estonia, where our good old king Valdemar Victory was fighting. He was about to lose a battle. Then he prayed to God. God gave him a flag, and we won the battle. Stupid Estonians. Pray to God, and you'll win. I picture Danes. Euros are very government centric. The government controls your life, dispels my stereotype. Well, we have a lot of government, and we have a high level of trust. That's why we pay so much in taxes. The last, I would say, 5 years, because the service level is going down and the taxes keeps rising, there's a lot more people kind of being distrustful of the government. Then we had those 2 years with a little certain Chinese something. So there's actually been a lot of anti-government demonstrations in most of Scandinavia. Färska math? I'm not sure. The Swede were probably colorblind, so there's just another color. Yeah, they just got away from us, and then they said, "Oh well, they have the best flag. Let's just ruin it by making it the Ukraine flag with a cross." Adding the banner makes it the anthem. Yeah, it's weird to sing the Star Spangled Flag. It wouldn't fit in. Us Americans are the young uns in the world. Yeah, you're barely a country. We we had a hereditary monarchy before you even became a country, and we found you. Well, the Norwegians did, but we claim it was us. Well, it's the point is to have a flag. You pay so much taxes too. Yeah, but you live in California, so you could just live in Russia. Great Danes are a German breed, exactly. Yeah, and that's really raising the disapproval of government. I noticed the farmer protest over there in Europe versus the government. Yeah, that's especially France and Holland have had a lot of that. We have the same thing now. They want to put a what? You because you don't buy Danish groceries, but um, we have a lot of people being very not happy about that. Christopher Columbus was a fraud. He was an Italian. Danes are concerned about eating healthy. One of the things I like about Danish supermarkets, it's easy to find organic ingredients that cost only a bit more than non-organic, which make it easier to be healthy. Ever seen Danish eating carrots like candy? We do eat carrots like candy. Organic food, yeah, maybe like 10% or something of our produce is organic. Copenhagen, way more than out where I live. We try to go more for locally sourced food. Um, and carrots are good. Baby carrots are really good to eat, not as fattening as everything else. Oh, and yeah, we eat a lot of rye bread all times of the day. Well, we don't eat it all times of the day. We normally eat it at lunch. Um, and are we really concerned about eating healthy food? You saw my full picture. I'm fat. Most of them want to believe that they are leading a healthy life, but that's not always true. Danes like eating pizza, and they really love their pork. You'll find it in sausage, sandwich, hot dogs, and more than half of their traditional foods. Frikadelle, that's our meatballs. Yeah, we believe we're kind of a health conscious people, but we eat just as bad as everyone else. Hola, Jamie. That's hello to me in Spanish.
Hold on. Hi.
You haven't been happy since the 80s. Well, you you were you're a little downtrodden. Do you have like a national animal? Yeah, back in the I believe in the 80s, we had a television program where we figured out what would be our national animal. So you could call in and vote for what you thought would be the Danish national animal. So
You had
that
to call and vote.
yeah, we had the swan is our national animal. This is good
The
because
what?
the swan,
Oh, a swan?
yeah,
Mhm.
as everyone know, a swan can break your arm with its beak. So it's a feisty little animal.
Yeah, they're pretty nasty.
Yeah. The Star Spangled Flag is actually the U.S. flag to be flown during wartime. There's also another U.S. flag for peacetime, but most people don't know it. I didn't know it. Do you love the real rye bread or the American pumpernickel?
Probably the American kind.
Yeah, yeah. And Norwegians come to us to eat bad food because their money is worth more down here. We eat yellow carrots, cobra chicken. Exactly. It's a long neck goose.
I mean, yeah, we have some Canadian geese that are mean around here.
Hakkebøf isn't our national dish. That's stikflæsk med persillesauce. No, the real rye. Yeah, that's a great bread. It's really filling for you. Danes are strong like the Vikings. Yes. We bike during the winter. We run in the rain like no care in the world. Swim in the sea when the water is well below 20 degrees. Is this the Viking attitude or what? Danes feel proud of having Vikings in their ancestors. Besides, they're quite resistant to living in tough weather conditions. Read cold and rainy days most of the year. Danes have a saying, there's no bad weather, just bad clothes. No, we have a saying that there's no bad weather, only bad stomachs. So they equip themselves with proper clothes when they run a bike. By the way, ever seen Danish parents put their babies in strollers in the garden even when it's winter? Of course we do. Why do they do it? Because it's considered training for resisting the tough weather for when the babies grow up. Actually, the wisdom is for some that is actually good for the babies. No, it's really good for their lungs. And now and again, you might spot Danes looking weak, but that's only when they're drunk. And the verdict, they're neither stronger nor weaker than anyone else, so this stereotype is false. This verdict is false. We are better. No, that's a weird thing you Americans don't understand. We let our kids sleep outside all the time. Every day of the year. When they take their afternoon nap, you chuck them in the baby carriage and just let them stand outside. It's good for them.
You let them or make them?
Of course, you make them. It's babies. They don't have a say.
You make them sleep outside?
You take when babies go down for a sleep after dinner lunch.
Sure.
Then you chuck them in a baby trolley, and then you roll it outside. Then
I love that you say chuck them. Just chuck them in a baby stroller and roll them outside.
But then you put a baby alarm with them so you can hear them cry, and then you close the door and go inside. Just make sure the cat doesn't lie in the face.
Oh my Lord.
What's the problem with that? It's good for their lungs. They're in fresh air. It's better than sleeping in some damn room. Yeah, in their prams. Well, I don't know what you call them now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Fedorowski knows it because babies need fresh air. It builds character to stay outside. You just put more clothes on them, and then you chuck them outside and say, bye-bye.
Just chuck babies outside. Make them
Yeah.
go play.
Yeah, and babies don't give consent, Jamie. When in Denmark it's raining or foggy, let's go to the bar. No, you drink at home. It's way too expensive to drink at a bar. Yeah, they wake up with a cute little red nose. I didn't know that. Yeah, we leave them out. Of course, we leave them out there. They're sleeping.
Oh, I'm glad Wendy's
You
on the same
take you
page as
take
me.
you take your pram. You put your baby in it. Then you walk around for a bit till it falls asleep. Then you let it. Of course, you don't put it out if it's raining. Then you put him like if you have a little covering, or you put on a rain topping on your pram, and you just let them stand outside until they wake again. It's good for their lungs.
So you say.
No, I did read somewhere that Danish children have better immune system. Yeah, we have a lot of we call them forest kindergartens, where you just they have like a house where that's the normal kindergarten. Then they get shipped out into the forest on a bus, and then just play outside. You just need to dress properly. Then there's no problems.
Okay.
I worked in a daycare, and we put all the kids to bed outside. Yeah. Aren't people afraid of kidnapping? Who wants to kidnap a baby? Have you met babies?
Oh my
Yeah, and
God.
we do baby swimming as well. No, why should we be afraid of anyone kidnapping a baby? We live in Denmark. It's not that hard. The government will help you get a baby if you need one. Yeah, well, if you have jaundice, yeah, you let them sleep near the window, but put them outside. It's good for them. Yeah, of course we make. What's so weird about babies sleeping outside? Babies can't swim, but they know how to hold their breath. Yeah. When Baker has finished streaming, then try to look up forest kindergartens. There's a great show about forest kindergartens.
What is a forest kindergarten?
It's a kindergarten in a forest.
Oh my God.
What? You Americans are so weird.
Oh.
I can see this didn't turn into a myth. Let's is this gonna oh let's hope no other people have used it. Yeah, let's watch a little bit of this one just to show I'm not lying. What's the problem?
This is a bunch of kids running around with sticks. Like, what is this? Is this supposed
This
to be
is a
school?
kindergarten. It's Danish daylight. No, this is I think it's British or something. Yeah. Oh no, water. Ooh. Yeah, the kid in the tree.
Oh my God.
Came from England and you first saw kids.
He's a little high up.
He is pretty high up. That
Well, the
does
good
not
thing
look
is
like a
that
strong tree.
the only problem is there's this stop down here. If he falls on that, it's probably gonna hurt him. It builds character.
Oh.
You know, this is a forest
I
kindergarten.
mean, I'm not saying it doesn't look fun.
It's not gonna break.
It's just weird.
You were put in the garden to sleep as a baby, grew up running wild on the farm in bare feet. Keep babies sterile all the time, they'll get all the allergies. Exactly, the foofy cat. You have to get it to stay mad fits if the sweets are coming again.
Playing like this.
It freaked me out.
There's no reason to. If you didn't let your kids do this, you would have CPS called on you. That's the funny thing. Actually, a Danish girl was arrested and had her kid taken from her in New York because she left it in the pram outside of the restaurant. Because
mean,
Americans are weird.
To be fair, it looks genius. Wear them out. Then they come home from kindergarten. They won't be. They won't wreak havoc.
They play with nature, and
Yeah.
now they're gonna have mushrooms. Trolleys. That's mushrooms. Yeah, you just have to teach them. I have fallen down more trees than I can remember. Hello, Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie.
Yeah, it happens. That's why we have a universal health care. Oh, well, maybe not if it's 90 degrees outside. Remember to take some of the clothes off them. Well, kindergarten teachers are the same in Denmark as they are in the US. We don't have fire ants. God don't hate Denmark. And the more you get out, the more you use your imagination. Like
Yeah.
that kid who made a tree into a ship. Let's watch this. There'll probably be some moms out there.
Pick on a tree. It's a way to
Yeah,
learn.
this is perfectly normal. I don't see why people find this weird.
Well, I mean,
Well, it's 10%, but every kid will go out. If you are in an institution, you all have a big playground outside, so you can have fun with that instead.
it's funny.
Yeah,
Well, that's stuff
survival
that
of
we
the
did
fittest.
like after
Exactly.
school, so that's funny that it was school.
Well, this is kindergarten. That's preschool.
Mhm.
This is how we do it. You used to drink water directly from the neighbor's yard faucet and just blow the dust if something we were eating fell to the ground. Yeah, and we didn't have all the diseases. Yeah, we have to stay match fit for the Swedes. An ER trip is over 1,500 for some. Yeah, but they'll learn. If you lose a finger, you'll get a compensation. The cotton balling of kids is a fairly recent phenomenon. In the 80s, our moms kicked us out and said, "Don't come until dinner." Yeah,
Oh, for sure. I was not allowed to if we set foot in that house during the day, we were doing chores, so we were gone
yeah,
until the streetlights came on.
yeah. We had a bit of a forest, and whenever we had like a week's vacation from school, we were playing war outside. So we ran down the forest and just played war with each other all day long, or built dams, or we were never home. It wasn't
I know.
until so yeah.
Well, and then you got your driver's license and you really weren't home. So I know it looks so fun. David posted a video and I watched it and I was like, "Oh, look at everybody." That's
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah, and again, as long as they can cry, they'll be fine. Well, that's the beauty. We can't sue someone if our kids will be put in a special
I
daycare.
love
Well,
Marissa's just disdain for this forest kindergarten.
yeah. Imagine her moving to Denmark and trying to live with our weird rules. You leave
Oh
your
my
kids
God.
outside, yeah, 24/7 almost. There's so many holes in this idea. It's a perfect idea, and actually, more and more kindergartens turn into these. We call them satellites. So they just start in a house, then get chucked into a bus, and then driven out into country.
I absolutely love it when you say chucked. Because chucked in my mind means overhand throwing things. So you just chucking
I
babies.
think chucking a baby, you will do it underhand. Yeah, we did. Water bottles didn't become a thing until the early 2000s. I'm sorry, observer. This is about culture. And apparently, this is the way to induce rage in Marissa. Inside meant jaws. Yeah. ER report. The child arrived impaled with a sharpened branch. No, they don't fight each other. Did Baker have a good trip? I had a great trip. Are you going back to the kindergartens? Only weird people work in kindergartens.
Well, she also hung out in the Australian outback, so she's a special lady.
Yeah. Remember the merry-go-rounds at the park? Whoever flew off, flew off. I miss those.
I know.
Yeah. That's a good way to lose some teeth.
And my dad used to be right there beside all of his kids, pushing us as hard as he could until we like flew off the thing. So he didn't care.
Yeah, you can put your moped on it and just make it spin with the rear wheel. Not to be tried. Are there bears in Denmark? No, we have wolves. Wolves, foxes, and badgers. That's our main.
Is that all you have is wolves?
Yeah, we don't have that many. We just got them back like 10 years ago.
Do you have any like poisonous animals?
Yeah, we have one poisonous type of snake, and then we have bees,
Where's it at?
mostly
Far-
outside.
Far away from you?
No, right. I had a friend who lives. Well, it's part of my city, but not really. We call it another city name, but they've grown together, the two cities. And she was out. What do you call it? Like a compost heap, where you chuck all your kitchen leavings and leaves and that to make mulch. And she had a snake nest in that
Ooh.
because it's hot all year round. So, do they let the wolves chase the kids? No, wolves mostly go after sheep. Love an apple Danish pastry. It could be good. Well, if you didn't have crap weather, litigious parents, and bears and snakes, we don't. Because again, big guy likes us. He gave us a flag.
So true. There'd be a lot of stuff out here that might not be that fun.
Denmark has seals, no bears. Exactly. Iceland looks absolutely beautiful. I would love to visit there. Iceland is a beautiful place. My dad was there once. Right now, they're hit a little bit by volcano eruptions, but they're not Danish anymore. They were until 1944 or 46. It was Danish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never drank from our creek. I wasn't sure where it came from. Loken's daughter is in the 6th grade. There, about 25% of their class is outside. Math is stickball, statistics, score, tallying, and so on.
There you go.
We don't let kid drive mopeds here. Well, you have to have a driver's license for a moped when you're. I think you can get it when you're 15 now.
Hmm.
Wolves eat children and grandmothers. Truer statement haven't been said.
Oh my God.
One of your husband's colleagues recently encountered a wolverine on a hike with his son. They had to jump in a river to get away from it. Ooh. Yeah, most dangerous animal in Denmark is a common wasp. 1 to 2 days a year. Death a year. Probably striking things in traffic is more dangerous.
A wasp?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm allergic to wasps, so I need to take the allergy medicine when if I get bitten by them or stung by them. It can be
Yeah.
if I get. I once was stung in my neck and it ballooned up, so I just had like a big ball because I'll blow up no matter what. So I have to take antihistamines every time I get stung.
Do you need like an
So,
EpiPen? Is it that bad?
No, I'm not that weak.
Oh my God. Because you were in a forest kindergarten. Did you go to forest kindergarten?
I never went to kindergarten
Oh, why not?
because my mom moonlighted as a daycare, so
Oh.
she had me home. So no, I didn't go to kindergarten. I started school at 5, which is a year younger than normal. And from I was 6 years old, I walked myself to school every day because no one. I walked with my brothers the first year, and then I just walked by myself. There's nothing. I know this probably sounds weird too. When you leave school, you just go home, and no one. You'll have a key, and you'll go home. You'll lock yourself in. No one will be arrested because your kid is alone. Psh, if I want to go shop somewhere and I leave the kids in the car, fine by everyone. That's my as long as it's not too hot, so we have more people yelling about dogs being left in cars than kids being left in cars. It's absolutely fine. You can send your kids to the store and stuff like that. I know. Oh, CPS. Well, relax.
It's a different world.
Yeah, yeah. Our national dish is fried pork belly and parsley sauce and potatoes. Yeah, you have to find your way there. No, I never had a Swedish meatball. Mhm. You cannot go to kindergarten here. Parents get sued. What the f?
Yeah,
Well,
it's a big deal if your kids aren't in school.
that'd be fine.
They'll be
Danes
fine.
like dri- Danes like drinking alcohol. Absolutely not. We don't only drink beer at parties, they also do it in the afternoon, at school, while hanging out in the park. Aarhus, the second biggest city in Denmark, hosts a famous event called Kapsejladsen, an annual boat race at the Aarhus University Park where thousands of people occupy the park and drink beer all day. Yeah. Some of them don't go there to support their favorite team and watch the match, they just go there to be in the annual party atmosphere, hang out with friends, and drink lots of beers. It's always super crowded and everyone seemed to be having a great time. I think two people went missing this year because they were so drunk.
Mhm.
Many Danes socialize by drinking, so don't get surprised if they suddenly become very outgoing and talkative after a few drinks. Besides, many of them were trained to drink a lot and party since high school. When Danes graduate from high school, they party and march around town with their prestigious graduation hat for 2 or even 3 consecutive days. They also ride in a big open deck car while drinking beers, yelling, singing, and honking to everyone that passes by. This tradition has been there for many decades. I've shown you those.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that one of our stabber days? You showed us a bunch of stuff like
Yeah,
that.
where they drive
Yep.
around the student driving.
Yeah, it looked fun.
Yeah, and yeah, we like our drinking. Hey, Valhalla, talk about liking to drink.
Hi, Val.
Happy birthday, Valhalla.
Happy birthday. Yes.
Swedish meatballs, reindeer nuts. Danes rarely smile. This is absolutely true. I don't even need to read it, but we rarely smile.
That's true.
I don't know. I don't know why everyone's saying you're not happy. You're never smiling. I don't. It's really rare that I smile, and I don't do it. Well, I have a phobia against teeth, so I don't show teeth. But I never smiled with my mouth open or anything like that.
You have a teeth phobia? What does that mean?
I don't like teeth.
You don't like them?
No, I get icked out if when kids show you, oh, I lost a tooth. I am almost.
Oh.
Are they slurring in Danish? Well, we slur in every language. Smiling is good for your health. Yeah, but we don't do it. We are very stoic.
Mhm.
You might notice some those in different phases. Why? Is it because it's dark, cold, and unfriendly? Apparently, yes. Their mood is very much dependent upon the weather. In the summer, they will laugh all day in the park. No, because of the sun. But when the weather is not as ge- generous, they will slip into their hygge mode. Hygge is a term for what Danes call getting cozy and warm with close friends or loved ones. Drinking coffee is in a cafe is hygge. Where's the alcohol? Cuddling while watching movie at home is hygge. Home party with friends while drinking beer is also hygge. Yes. And Danes are also the ones who burn the most candles in Europe. Yeah, we're really fond of open fire. Aarhus is known as the city of the smile for years. Sometimes people on the bus at the university even smile at me when I accidentally look at them. But I wonder if they would do it when it's windy and raining as well. The stereotype is mostly true. Yeah, And no, it's not because of the weather. We are just very reserved and we don't smile a lot. That's why we have this lowbrow humor as well.
That's why it's a treat when you really laugh and
Yeah.
giggle about something.
Yeah, fish is well a lot of people hobby fish, but and fish they try to make us eat more of it, but we are more pork. I used to smile my teeth at 7. Oh. What's that game with the plastic piece that holds your gum exposed and you have to guess what they're saying? That's so nasty. I can't stand it. Growing up in Michigan, at least one person I knew hit a deer every year.
Yeah.
Do all or most Danes speak English? Everyone born after, I would say, 1960 have had English at some form in school. Today, I think they start in first grade learning English, and then maybe it's third grade, and then they have German later. Where's my candles? They are on right there. There's 2. That's homemade from my nephews. Mhm. Put up the pic of the smile exercise. Oh, that
God.
video. Well, that's for Stab You Day.
That's terrible.
90% speak English. That's probably true. If you smile at a stranger or try to strike up a conversation that's not about the weather, people will often think you're a loony here. Yeah. If you want to talk to someone and you don't know how to break it, just say, "The weather's kind of weird today." And we will go on and say, "Yep, but yesterday." We can have a conversation for 2 hours not knowing each other's name about how bad the weather is. If it's sun is shining, it's too hot. If it's raining, it's too wet. If it's snowing, it's too cold.
Y'all are funny.
Danes rarely do small talk, never, especially with strangers or people they just met. It's just not their culture. Ever notice Danes prefer sitting alone on the bus? Yes. If you come into a bus and there's open seats, never sit next to someone. We will get physically ill if you do it. We don't like people next to us. We don't like people sitting close to us in public transport. We will, if you have a bus seat or a bus, we will try to have each our own seat. And then when it fills up, you're sitting there dreading that they pick you to sit next to.
Yeah.
We
I mean,
are
I'm not against
very-
that. I would like that too.
Yeah, we are very personal space. If you ask us for help or something, we'll try to do it. But and if you get to know us, yeah, we'll probably like you. But other than that, we have the friends we need. Danes always wear dark clothes. No, we don't. It's a myth. It's only goth kids who do that. But this guy is in uni. They're weird. Danish girls are hard to approach. Yep. Danish boys are hard to approach. Nope. Just get a drink in them and say, "Hey, sailor." Then I found another one. This is from Norway. 15 fun facts about Denmark. And it's from the Norwegian. They want to be us so much, so they must know. We have the oldest flag in the world. We covered this. Yes. 1219, we got our flag. Before that, we had a black raven on a red background. In the Pacific Northwest, we haven't seen an 80-degree day yet, and I feel sorry for the rest of the country. Oh. Just say, well, to a Danish guy. It works better than saying it to a Danish woman. You're a hugger too. You would love Valhalla. Do Danish men like hugs and snuggles? It depends on who you're hugging and snuggling. Again, personal space, very important. But we have that Hygge phenomenon where, like, because it's dark 364 days a year here, so cuddle up on the couch watching a movie or some random TV show. That's a big part of Hygge. And before you get to know each other too well, so you think the other one is annoying, you will share the same blanket. Then when you've been together for a week and you think she's really warm, you'll try to get out of it. But yeah, there's a lot of snuggling going on. You always initially think of Peter Schmeichel, the goalkeeper, when I think of Denmark. Yeah, he was a great goalie, but Michael Laudrup was a good midfielder too. And Kasper Schmeichel is pretty good as well. Well, he used to be good. If you ever hug me, I would punch you.
Why?
Because we only know each other for 25 years.
It's a little dramatic.
Well, and it's not 25 years. He's lying. It's 23 years. And you have a kid together? I have to think about that one.
Oh, Marissa.
No, because Denmark has the world's oldest national flag. So the Swiss got it from us. Tell the story of Holger Danske. Well, let me see if I can find a picture of Holger Danske. Well, because people make everything wrong. The guy we call Holger, British people call Ogier. I don't know. But this is this guy. He's sitting in. No, I don't want to give you money. Stop it. No, go back. This is this guy. That's go away. This is Holger Danske. He sits beneath Hamlet's castle, Kronborg, and when Denmark will be in trouble, he will rise again, and fight for Denmark and save us. He's from a poem. I don't know. Apparently, he was fighting against the Muslims for the French against the Muslims, and he got this very famous sword, and he won and won and won, and yeah, and then he went home and sits in the basement of a castle, and whenever he's needed, he will come back and fight for us. And yeah, I don't know why. And one of the big freedom fighter movements during the Second World Kerfuffle was named after him. Bigger the Dane will be forever how I think of Denmark. Well, that's a good way. I'm a nice guy sometimes. You could take him? No, you couldn't.
What was so special about him?
He fought the Muslims down. Well, we made it. It was a French poem of a big fighter down there. He probably was Nordic of descent, but then 400 years later, we made him Danish and said he was a descendant of a Danish king, and he will come back and fight for us when we need him. Well, it's from the 1600s, before you were a country, so it was still it's cromulent. Danes like to call Norwegians fjellaber, mountain apes, and we like to call them altitudinally challenged since they have no real mountains. We do call them fjellaber. We are not allowed to now. That's insensitive. He sits very close to Sweden. Exactly. He knows where the threat is. You never even thought about Denmark until me. No.
Yeah, me either though.
Mm-mm-mm. The California Republic flag became our state flag. Cool that Denmark was the same in keeping their flag. Well, again, it's tradition. Your grandfather wasn't that. Well, so he was not a commie. That's a good thing to know. Holger Danske was the conservative political leaning who made that resistant group during the Second World Kerfuffle. Then you had BOPA, which was the commies. We didn't like them after the war because we wasn't in danger. We earned a lot of money. We were fighting very hard against the German. We have Sky Mountain in Denmark. Well, we have a hill, Møllehøj, that's 147 meters tall. I saw something about the remains of Viking with the word Allah embroidered on his clothes. Don't known in Denmark, but fascinating. Well, it's because back in the good old Viking days, all of you, of course, knows the Roman Republic split in two. I believe it was was it 300 and something? So you had the Eastern Roman Republic and the Western. The Western was Italy, Rome, all that way, and the Eastern was Constantinople, which is modern-day Turkey. You had the fall of Rome when the Huns came down, beat all of them, but you had Constantinople, and he had a guard of Vikings to protect him called the Varingard, maybe Varingard in English, who sailed down the rivers through Russia, down to the Black Sea, and then they served him. So they would have traded a lot of money or traded a lot of stuff with the Muslims in the area, because around 653, I believe, is when the Muslim faith was started, and so around 800 or 900 they would have been in contact with it. Later they will go to war against Constantinople, but the emperor's guard in Constantinople was Northmen. That was Vikings called the Varinger. So they were down there, fought for some years, got rich, went back home through Russia, sailed up all the rivers to Scandinavia. So if you go to Hagia Sophia or the Blue Mosque in Istanbul, you will see an inscription from a Dane in the runic alphabet saying blah blah was here. So it's kind of like Kilroy was here. All the stuff you learned today, Jamie. History lessons by the baker.
It's just you're always teaching me something.
Himmelbjerg, yeah. That's Sky Mountain, yeah. Wales took away the crown from the British back in 1200, didn't they, Baker? And by the way, I saw a guy in chat called the Pie Baker. He has a channel. How should I know what Wales did? I don't know. I know they had how was it? Wales had or was the Irish? They had a tradition. If you wanted to be like the chieftain or the king, you had to fight for it, and if you lost, you had to chop off one of your nipples to show that you. Yeah, it was. If you lost, you chopped off a nipple. Yeah, it's true story.
Oh wow.
Lots of us Americans just bunched all the Scandinavian countries together as one culture. We are, and actually, we're very, very different if you get to know us. But I think to the rest of the world, we'll see that if you put me, Nick, Panella, and Fedorowski in a room, you would think we were kind of the same. I would be superior, but the rest of them, yeah, you'd think they're kind of the same. Do Danes sleep naked too? I do. History time with Baker. Yeah, I actually trained to be a history teacher. The Danish expert. Have you met the expert? I know where I am, so I can't be that. Is there AC in Denmark? No. Well, there is in shops. People are beginning to have it now, but it's very uncommon because it's our houses are very well insulated because of the cold winters. So they actually keep the heat out too in the summer. But in the summertime, we'll just fling up open all doors and windows when you're at home. Mhm. The oldest flag, we have that one. Yeah, our monarchy is even older than the flag because we started things off in 935, and kind of the same royal line, not exactly, but kind of. And we don't have Queen Margaret today. We have King Frederick the 10th, but yeah, she used to be it. This is New Harbor in Copenhagen. This is a very, very famous holiday spot. All along the pier here it's mostly restaurants or bars. So if you come uh, any day with just a little bit of sun and heat, this will be filled with people drinking, mostly tourists. And if you cross this bridge and walk a little bit down an alley, you'll come to the Queen's Castle, or the King's Castle it is now. And our former Prime Minister lives in an apartment right around the corner here, I believe. But this is just bars in Harbor. So it's very famous
Looks
in Denmark.
pretty. It's so
Yeah,
pretty.
a lot of people like to take pictures of because all the houses have different colors.
Yeah.
But when my dad was a soldier in the 60s and he was in Copenhagen, this wasn't a good place. This was where ladies of the night hung out. But it was cheap to rent. They had the Y had a spot down there, so they could rent a room for no money.
The
We have a
ladies
model
of the
prince.
night.
What?
So the ladies of the night would run a room,
No,
or
no.
the
The
people
soldiers could
hanging out? Oh.
rent a cheap room, but they probably rented a cheap woman too. So
Hmm. It's precious.
we have a puzzle of that. That's a pretty little place. I think the Romans weren't that interested in Daneland too. Well, have you watched the 13th Warrior? He meets some Danish guys. One of them
Hmm.
is our Danish famous wrestler who looks like Hulk Hogan. He has the famous line, kun en araber vil ride på en hund inde i et slag, which directly translates to, only an Arab would ride a dog into a battle. I don't know why I remember that. When you worked in Denmark, I took the boat to Nyhavn every day. Yeah, and as Mads says, it's really expensive out there, but it's pretty.
It's pretty.
Well, hotels normally have ACs. It's from a movie with Antonio Banderas called The 13th Warrior, and the Danish guy. The only thing I remember him saying in Danish is, only an Arab would ride a dog into a battle, because he has a smaller horse than the Danes, which is really weird because we had those pony type horses up here. We didn't have like riding horses. We have a model prince. Yeah, we have a one of the king's brother's kids is a model. We don't talk about him. He's seventh in line. He doesn't matter. It's a small country. It is. Outside the city, Scandinavia has a reputation of being a vast open space with mountains, fjords, and lakes. Not so with Denmark. It's just a shade larger than the Netherlands and Switzerland. It ranks 130th in the world. In US terms, that's somewhere between Maryland and West Virginia in size. So that's how big my country is.
That's it.
Yeah, between Maryland and West Virginia. I've never been to those places. I don't know how big they are.
They're not huge. I could be wrong though.
The dumbest movie, it was the best movie ever made.
Oh.
Yeah, and we should
No,
thank
he
the
loved
Swedes
every
because
second of it, guys.
it was
You've been
great.
talking about since I met you, you've talked about that movie.
Yeah, and you weren't there to see it.
I know I had to do some actual stuff and it was the worst.
See it again next Sunday.
Yeah. Oh God.
But it's also a big country because we have 443 islands. We only live on 70 of them, but and one of them is Greenland because that's the world's largest island. So, but 443 islands is how many we have in Denmark. This is Greenland. That's a pretty place.
It is.
Go up there if you want to pay even more for beer, and think Alabama isn't incestuous enough. Then you go to Greenland.
I love that.
Well, it's
Alabama
true.
is all you know of like America.
I talked to certain people in the U.S. and they said no, it's not a general problem; it's an Alabama problem.
Hmm.
And Greenland is an autonomous territory of Denmark, but we have the foreign affairs and defense, and most other is devolved to the Greenlandic government. Nope, we run their healthcare too. We run their police. We run their court system. So yeah. But your former president wanted to buy it from us, so we should have sold them. It cost
Great.
us.
Yeah, great.
We pay them 3.6 billion Danish a year, so that's like 500 million we send them every year. So while Denmark itself is small, its total territory is much bigger. Adding up, it's up to the 12th biggest country in the world, somewhere between the Democratic Republic of Congo, which is not democratic, and Saudi Arabia, which is not democratic. So yeah. Maryland is fairly small compared to the southern and midwestern states. Well, we are 5.6 million people now. Sweden have over 200,000 islands. Don't tell Baker. You stole most of them from us. Stockholm looks like a place I would love to live, but your cannabis laws are the third world. Well, just move to Møllegården. You can do it there. You can buy it easily. Isn't Greenland its own thing now? Nope, we pay for them. Greenland is white. I flew over it and don't want it. It's because the habitable zone is primarily on the southwest coast, and there's some small cities dotted up the east coast, but most of it is ice. Colorado is way bigger than Denmark. Then, yeah, I think Texas is bigger than Europe. Maryland has 6.1 million people. Yeah, so about the same size and the same amount of people as Maryland.
Interesting.
Yeah, but Greenland has better gun laws. If you're imprisoned in Greenland because they have that hunter culture, the Inuit culture. So if you're in prison in Greenland and you want to go hunting, they'll give you a rifle so you can go out and hunt, because it's against your nature not to hunt. So that's a fun fact about Greenland. You drive north from Massachusetts to New Hampshire to avoid the MA 6.75% sales tax. Denmark has 25%. Yeah, we are coming to that now. Many people visiting Scandinavia are shocked by how much things cost. Our sales tax is 25%. Yeah. And we have one of the highest tax rates for income taxes, with some paying as much as 45%. I pay 42. But 90% says they're happy with taxation. It's probably because the government asks us, so we don't dare say what we mean.
Mm.
Is it true that Danes came to the US before anyone else but couldn't hack it? No, the Vikings who went over there was the Norwegian Vikings. They weren't as too tough as the rest of us, so they got beaten by the Indians. When it's cool, I'll claim in, or I'll pawn them off. They're pretty happy though. Denmark is currently the second happiest in the World Happiness Report, just behind Finland. All education is free, and both the education and healthcare system is renowned throughout the globe. So maybe paying high taxes isn't as bad as people in lower tax countries might think. Well, this is one of the myths I really like to debunk, because I know Bernie Sanders has been talking a lot about how great the Scandinavian model is. Today, more and more people are self-insuring against illnesses because the service level is dropping in our healthcare system, because we don't have enough nurses, we don't have enough doctors, our taxes still goes up. So a lot of people today are actually moving away, or well, they're supplementing their universal healthcare with private healthcare, because something like my herniated discs, I was lucky enough that it became very prudent to fix me when I couldn't walk anymore. Or else you can wait months, even years, for a non-life-threatening surgery. That's one of the downsides about having a universal healthcare system. Is we'll, especially things like the big C has a lot of political eyes on it, so they will do a lot about that. And then if you have a bad knee or a bad hip, we'll get to it when we get to it. So that's one of the things people don't talk about when we have universal healthcare. And most of the times it's like, we'll try once or twice, and if we can't fix it, well, you'll just get a disability check and see you later. That's another little problem with it. But Sweden is the country with most islands in the world. Yeah. Look at the Swedes. We're the best at everything. As a man from Alabama with long line of Danish blood, do I need to challenge you to me to a sword fight? Well, I don't know. Well, I do. No, because it's not legal to own a sword. I don't own a sword. Well, Bernie will never win that battle. No, but he makes a lot of young people believe it's good. And the same thing, we educate a whole lot of people in universities. 40% of people with what do you call them? Human scientists, like the basket weavers and the I can understand female gender specialists. 40% of those won't have a job in their field for 5 years after they end their education. So they just waste 5 or 6 years studying to a degree that doesn't pay them. That's a big problem, because that's a lot of money going to nowhere. So they're actually looking at how can we make fewer classes available. We have a lot of foreigners coming to us because we pay like $800-900 a month for people to study. So a lot of people want to come here, because if you live in Poland, that's a lot of money. So we are actually trying to downsize our universal welfare state. Yellowstone Park, Wyoming, even if it's a giant sunken volcano that's supposed to destroy this earth when it erupts, I know it's 1,000 years old. Well, they always say that, but we're here as long as we're here, and just enjoy it. Big government always gets more and more expensive and less effective. Exactly. Since the Chinese cough thing, We have 20,000 more in the public sector in administrative positions. No one really knows where they were hired. We just know there's 20,000 more on the payroll, and then people say, well, it's because of all those who had to do the checks and stuff like that. No, we just have 20,000 more. And the only thing true about the welfare state is there will always breed more, we call them cold hands. That's the people pushing paper from one side to another side of the table. Always more of those. You have a ton of Filipino nurses. We are actually looking to go get more of those. Salt right or salt right? Mm-hmm. Hurry up and get the jokes in before he catches up. Marissa. Well, the Danes know how to play. We know how to play well. Yeah, that's because play well is Lego is an abbreviation of play well. Like God. And we know a thing or two about amusements. It's because we have the two oldest amusement parks in the world. Viking, which originated in 1583. So that is less than 100 years after Columbus hit the Hispanic islands. They started having an amusement, not a park at that time, but yeah. And then we have Tivoli.
You have
which
the
is
oldest?
Yeah, from 1583.
I mean, does everything up to date?
Yeah, of course it's up to date. No, back then it was a spring because the water was so bad in Copenhagen. So they went out to this place and you could drink the water from there. And then when you had a place where people went to get water, someone will show up who will try to sell you a bottle to have it in or a pie. And it became a thing, and then it just grew. And so today it's an amusement park with rides and theaters and stuff like that. But it originated in 1583.
It started by somebody offering somebody water?
No, there was a spring water, like
Yeah.
a spring from the ground. People found out, oh, there's fresh water over here, and they lived in Copenhagen. So when they pulled water out of the well, you know what comes down from a city that's filled with horses and people. It's probably not the best water. You'll probably get a lot of cholera in that. So they went out to all these natural springs to get fresh water. And then people who sold stuff started being there because they knew people would go there. That's the first rule in capitalism: be where the customers are. And then it turned into kind of a freak show attraction thing. And then, but it's been at the same spot since 1583. So it's an old place. So, and it's free to go in and see it, but everything there is very expensive. And then we have Tivoli. That's in the middle of Copenhagen, right next to the central train station. And it's new. It's from 1843. So that was before Lincoln wore long pants. And it's a good, if you want to go, don't go in the summer because there's so many tourists there. And go there in the winter when they dress it up for winter. That's a really that's a nice place. And we are cozy people. Enjoying the simple things in life is important to the Danes, so we call it hygge, pronounced huga. No, it's not pronounced huga. It's pronounced hygge. The word defies direct translation. Instead, it's a feeling of contentment you get from enjoying simple pleasures. I never understood why they say that. It's just a feeling you get when you're happy. Like sitting with a book and a cup of tea with a blanket on listening to music. That's hygge. Or sitting with your family eating cakes and just talking. That's hygge. Or when I went out with my kids the other day and we looked at different stores and ate nachos. That's hygge. It's not something specific. It's just a cozy feeling you get when you're with loved ones. Then we are hygge. And it's not huga. That's the sound an old car makes. It's so old, the roller coaster is pulled by horses. Exactly. That's how it is, Jamie.
So I was just like, did they update it at all, or is it just all the old stuff?
No, it's still just a man standing with a bottle next to a spring saying, "Wonder."
Yes.
That's amusement in Denmark. That's a guy selling a bottle.
You know I believe you. Fully,
Jamie,
100%.
it's been
That
there from 1583. Don't you think some guy would have stopped by and said, "Oh, you're selling bottles. I'm going to sell a sausage." And another guy is coming by saying, "If you can sell a sausage, I can sell some ketchup."
well, maybe they wanted to keep it authentic from when it first started. I don't know.
I love you, Jamie. They call them spa towns. Bath in England, Baden-Baden in Germany. The rich would go there for vacation and the healing waters. Yeah, I think this was more like to get fresh water. Uh, we do have healing springs. Actually, not far from me is a spring that was believed to be healing. I think there's one out in this wood next to me too. We had a lot of spring water because, again, we have a lot of groundwater, especially on my island and on the big island because we were covered in ice under the last ice age. So there's a lot of debris here, not a lot of sand. So we had a lot of springs. Do IKEA Swedish meatballs really taste like Danish furniture? I never had a meatball, so I couldn't tell you. I have
Like you never
bitten a
had
chair or
a
two.
meatball, like
I
ever,
never
or
had a
just
Swedish meatball. Never
okay,
had a Swedish
Swedish meatball.
meatball. Oh, when you
I want to know what the
smoke
difference is.
I haven't done that since I was in Roskilde. I'm so far behind. You have a mule barge on a canal near Washington Crossing here, pulled by a mule to this day.
See?
Yeah, well, we have evolved a bit. We know the combustion engine. Swedish meatballs taste a bit like Turkish meatballs.
What is
They're
the
normally,
difference?
I don't know. I haven't had a Swedish meatball, so I couldn't tell you. Ask Fedorowski. Doesn't either Greenland and Iceland have hot water springs from volcanic activity? You can go to the Blue Lagoon in Iceland. That's that's supposed to be good for, especially if you have skin diseases. It's a very mineral-rich, volcanic heated water. It's beautiful. Try looking it up on either YouTube or Google it. It's a very beautiful place. My dad was supposed to be there when he was in Iceland, but he never, because there was some, I can't remember what the problem was, but apparently it's a very special place, and I think they serve you beer. Doc Holliday died at the springs near here. Yeah, with his boots on. Has to be an old mule by now. No, the meatballs are nothing like the Danish frikadelle because ours are roasted.
Roasted. Yes,
Yeah, we take our meatballs and we roast them. That's the best part.
How do you roast them? What do you
On a
mean?
pan. You take a meatball made out of pork. You take 50% pork and 50% veal, and then you mix that together. You put in some spices. You put in some onions. Some people put weird stuff in them too, like oatmeal to stretch the meat. Stop it. Then you make them kind of like flat like this, and you put them in a pan with a lot of butter, and you fry them, and they're great. Nothing better than at 2 a.m. when you have your night pee and you're thinking, oh, I have a frikadelle in the fridge. So you walk into the fridge and you just have we call this a handdelle or hånddelle. It's one of those you eat with your hand. Up, up, up. It's the best
So
thing in the world.
you flatten them so they're not meatballs?
Yeah, because we're not Swedish. We wouldn't eat. We put meatballs in curry.
Oh my God.
I don't know why you're so weird over there. Bicycles are everywhere in Denmark. I was surprised by all the bikes. Oh, so you've been to Copenhagen. You will get hit by a bike if you go on the bike lane. You have the sidewalk, then you have the bike lane, then you have the road. If you're stupid enough to walk on the bike lane, they will hit you. They won't care. Hey, Jess.
Have you ever seen anybody get hit?
Yeah, of course I have.
All the time?
Nothing better than a British tourist, because whenever you go to Britain, you're told look left, no, look right, because cars go on the wrong side of the road. So when they come to Copenhagen and we have a place called Queen Louise's Bridge, and that's just before Nørrebro, and that's the most bike street in Denmark. It's crazy the amount of bikes, and people there are mostly young people who have the headphones in their ears or watching their phone, and there's a intersection with a light, cross light, what do you call it, street light. So a lot of people, especially British people, when they have to cross to find a hotel, and they get the green man to go, they just walk out and they look right, and they just get chopped by a bike from the left. That's good.
I would love to sit there all day and just people watch people get
The
hit by
good thing
bikes.
is, right next to the bridge, there's a lot of cafes. You can buy a beer there and just sit there and enjoy.
Oh,
Or you can
all
just
right.
go over on the other side and buy a bag of beer and sit on a park bench and just drink and laugh at them.
I'm in. Let's do it.
It's great entertainment.
Come on, guys, let's go.
Don't tell Jamie what wheel is. Jamie
I
knows
know.
what
I
a
know
young
what
cow
veal
is.
is. It's a baby cow.
Yeah, that's good.
Terrible. Ugh.
Fried onion on them, yummy. Well, if you eat them cold the next day on rugbrød. The way to a Danish man's hearth is making really good frikadeller. I haven't had a good one since my mom died. So if I'm ever getting married again, it's because someone can make a better frikadeller than my mom.
Uh-oh.
Marissa. No, it's not
Yes.
like American hamburger patties.
I
They
know.
are the size of, I don't know, the size of, well,
Like
they're like this thick, and then they're
like a
like,
quarter?
no, this thick, and then
No.
they are like, well, it depends because everyone makes them differently, but they're kind of like this size, maybe the length of a Twinkie, but just a flattened ball.
What?
The length.
Can you Google what they look like?
It's kind of like I have to do everything in this show.
Yeah, kinda. I love when he's trying so hard to describe it to us. We're like, just yell at him to Google it. Google it, Baker.
I don't know why they put salt on top of them. That's weird. Probably a sweet. And the green stuff, don't put green stuff near frikadella. This, you'll eat this with potatoes and gravy. Best thing in the world. And then all the ones you didn't eat, you put in your fridge. And then you have hand della for the night. Up, up, up.
You
We
just eat it
eat them.
cold?
I had a buddy of mine once coming to a party at my house. My mom used to to make like a big batch of it. Just fill the oven and roast them on either side and just finish them in the oven because she made so many. He ate 53 of those because he had one with some rye bread and he couldn't figure out. He thought they tasted differently, so he ate 52 more to find out it must be the rye bread that tasted weird. My mom wasn't happy. That was supposed to go in the freezer. Well, she had good frikadella.
Oh my gosh.
It happens. Well, it's the same in Britain. Imagine how many from the real world who gets hit by cars in Britain.
Or drive
You
on the
talk
wrong
to
side.
yeah, we look both ways too. But you're a tourist, and there's a green light, so we can cross, and you just look and start walking. Ooh, get jumped by a bicyclist. Ah, I love it. No one makes meatballs and frikadella like my mom used to. No, and that's in every family. It's a family tradition secret. It's not a mini meatloaf. Stop, stop, stop. You saw it.
It does. It looks like a little like squished meatball.
What makes them different are they are roasted. Meatballs are boiled or cooked in some
Meat?
sauce.
No. I mean, that's how I cook my meatballs. I cook them in the
Yeah.
pan and then finish them in the oven.
They are made from pork and veal. Mhm. I don't like caramelized onions. Yep, my mom wasn't too pleased. Your wife puts cilantro on everything. That's her go-to spice, and I'm Irish German. I have that genetic thing with cilantro. It tastes like soap. I don't know. th- you didn't know that was a thing?
What?
Some people have our taste buds. We taste cilantro, and it tastes like soap. We had
Gross.
a Vietnamese chef at my old school. She loved putting it in there, and it smells amazing. The second I put it in my mouth, it tastes like soap. It's something genetic thing that makes cilantro taste weird.
Hmm.
I can't tell you what genetic thing, but I just have it.
Cilantro is so good.
I'm sorry, and Dave, the air fryer isn't gas powered, and it won't turn on before you close the. So you can't use that to unalive yourself if this is killing you. You pans in the oven, and there's still.
Mhm.
You need to come to Denmark, try real frikadella. Yeah, you have the cilantro, and you can't do anything, and it's just really unpleasant to eat. And I love the smell of Vietnamese cooking, but I always had to ask her, do you have any cilantro in it? And she said, only a little bit. No matter if it was just a tiny bit or it was normal, I couldn't eat it. It tastes like perfume, soap, something. Yeah.
You're crazy.
I love eggs, but I hate avocados. But that's more a texture thing.
Yeah, I hate avocados too.
Soap with a mix of aftershaving lotion. I agree. Yeah, but it's a genetic thing. I don't know what it's called, but apparently it's like 15 or something percent of the world's population can't eat cilantro without it tasting weird.
Hmm.
And I really like to eat Vietnamese food. The cozy people, we like our bicycles. Yeah. There might be 9 million bicycles in Beijing if Katie Melua is to be believed. I don't know. Is that a song? But also a lot in Denmark. Danes love cycling, and there are more bicycle in the country than people. That's because we always get our bikes stolen.
Well, are
How
you
do
guys just riding your bikes so aggressively that you can't like stop for somebody? You just run them right over and keep going?
you have the bike lane? That's where you ride your bike. Then you have
Yeah.
the pavement on the side. That's where you walk. It's kind of easy. You don't ride your well. Sometimes you ride your bike out where the cars are supposed to be, but it's just it's that place. Copenhagen is filled with idiots, especially young idiots who has music in their ears, watching their phone while riding their bike, and they don't care about traffic lights. So they just there's a lot of accidents in that crossing. It's fun.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Part of the reason for this is the country is relatively flat. The highest point of the country is a mere hill of 170 meters called Møllehøj, not Målehøj. Another reason is that new cars are heavily taxed to discourage them. The investment in infrastructure has made cycling safe and easy for both recreation and transportation. Yeah, we're building a brand new bike lane near me.
Oh, you need more bike lanes? Jesus.
Yeah, well, this is because we have like a country road, and it goes past a castle, and there's not enough room to ride a bike there, so you have to go a weird way. So now we're going to build a new
Okay.
one going across a lake.
Hmm.
And that it's 500 and what? No, it's not. What the f? What the hell?
What?
I'm trying to see how much. Yeah, it's 557 meters tall. That our highest point in Denmark. That's not much.
What is that in American?
170 meters is 553 feet.
Okay. Thank you.
Roundabouts in UK are tough if you're from the right side driving countries. Your instinct to enter them staying to the right side, even when you're driving on the left of the road. Yeah, would be a problem. You hear Copenhagen is expensive. Well, everything in Denmark is expensive because again we have a high taxation level, we have a high pay level, and we have a 25% value added tax. But we don't do it like the Americas, where you don't know what you're paying until they add the taxes, which is weird. If it says $5 for this, it's $5. It's not $5 plus tax. So whatever it says on the sign, that's a weird thing when we're in a store looking at it, and then we have to figure out: do this state have an 8% sales tax, or 5% sales tax, or 0% state sales tax? Everything it says on the sign is the price in Denmark. So we don't have to stand there and figure out, oh, this plus 25%. No, everything is taxed when it's put on the sign. So everyone knows what they're paying. Your body loves biking. Yeah. You live in a country where it could be fun riding down. No mountains in Denmark. No, we have a 170-meter tall hill called Møllehøj. That's the highest point in Denmark. Well, it's not molehill. It's Møllehøj, which would be translated to like a windmill, a mill, and then a høj is like a hill. So the mill hill. That's what you'll translate it to. You fell into a cactus once. We don't have cacti.
Oh God, Danny. Oh, that'd be the worst.
Yeah, justice for Himmelbjerg. Previously, we were believing that our tallest point was the Sky Mountain, but it's a little bit shorter than Møllehøj. You are moving to Denmark. Well, you should be more than welcome. Yeah, Windmill Hill would probably be, yeah. Well, not, it's probably back from, isn't there a water mill down by, no, is that Himmelbjerg that has a old water mill down by the lake? Maybe, I don't know. is it's that way in the US because the US is too big. The taxes aren't the same everywhere you go. No, but Tennessee knows what their state tax are. So everything you put on a price tag in Tennessee should be the price you pay in Tennessee. It shouldn't be the price you pay in Tennessee plus the state tax in Tennessee. Can't be that hard.
Mm-hmm.
Norwegian wood sounds amazing. I'll bet you'd like it. Oh, Nick Raiders. Hello, Nick Raiders.
Hi, Nick Raiders.
The steepest street in the world is in Pittsburgh. I found that out when I lived there. It's nearly impossible to ride a bike up. We have
Oh, wow.
yeah, come in and hear about how awful Sweden is. Exactly. We have one in my town, which actually when they drive the bicycle race Denmark round Denmark, sometimes they come by my town and rides up that because it's so steep, and it's where the town gallows used to be, so it's called the Gallows Hill. Fun fact, Jamie. Do you know what
That's a
is?
fun
Do you know what's up directly opposite? The Gallows Hill is a hill. On the hill directly opposite, do you know what institution is there?
No.
The poorhouse. Just because then they could know, don't be poor because you can end up in the gallows. It is actually the reason why they built it there, because the city gallows was on the other side. And back in the day, if you were poor and went to those poorhouses, you gave up all your citizen rights. You couldn't vote, you couldn't do anything. Mostly it was because you were in debtor's prison or stuff like that. And just to show you that, because it was a moral failing that you had to live there. It must be because you were a bad person. You know, back in the day, they didn't really figure out people could have psychological problems and stuff like that,
Yeah.
being alcoholics and stuff like that. So to show you moral strength, they made sure that you could see the town gallows, so you would be better. True story. I generally just round it up to 10%, and that covers most places. Easy math. It's way easier if you don't have to round anything up. Tax included pricing would only make sense no matter what US state it is that has sales tax. But again, that would make too much sense for Americans. Lol. Yeah. Hey, hey, you Raider.
Hi, Nick.
You please all the Danish volunteers who fought at the Alamo. I don't think there was any Danes at the Alamo. There was a lot of Danes in the Civil War, because they were stopped at the harbor in New York and told, if you want your green card, you go down south. And they did. I'm not putting that one up. You heard Denmark doesn't have mountains but still have a downhill ski team. Of course we do, because we train in Greenland. The good old days.
Good old days.
You have some Jabra wireless earplugs that are Danish. I have Jabra earplugs. They're actually charging right now because I used them when I was out with my weed whacker. I like Jabra. I have that in my car too for my handless device. Are the kids taught English? Yeah, I believe now it's, if Logan is still here, he can tell me, but I believe it's first or third grade they start having English now. Yeah, Jamaica has a bobsled team, yeah. Jabra is great. Yes, it is. There was a single Danish citizen that fought at the Alamo, and he's appreciated. I didn't know. I have a book about a guy who fought in the Civil War my dad had. But I can't remember where it is right now. You cheated, and the Germans cheated. We never lost the war. We was cheated in war. Did you know Denmark and Sweden are the two nations in the world who have fought most wars against each other?
Hmm.
Did you know Denmark won most of them? Did you know it's about time to start doing it again? We are match fit. You saw us in the forest kindergartens.
Yeah, you guys are you're crazy.
Jabra doesn't mean anything in Danish. It's probably an abbreviation of something. So just yeah, I was in Philadelphia. I had to pay 3% workers something and 3% soda tax. What is this? Russia? That was weird. I had to pay sales tax and then I had to pay something workers something, probably to some government entity
was-
with the.
What for?
When I bought my Philly cheesesteak, I paid for the cheesesteak. Then I had to pay sales taxes. Then I had to pay 3% for soda tax. And then I had to pay 3% for some worker compensation crap.
What?
Mm.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's about time we start getting the team back together and fight. We can fight
Oh my
over
God.
Norway as we used to do. No, it wasn't with a tip included. I gave them a tip, yes, but it was sales tax, and then it was a workers' compensation something, and a soda tax. And I thought I could just move to Russia. It's so stupid.
What is a soda tax? Do we have
It's
that
a
here?
3% tax because I'm getting fat on the soda I drink in Philadelphia while flying out of the country. Because that makes sense, Jamie.
It makes no sense.
Talk to Marissa about it. It is her city. Oh, we could go back to Ireland.
Oh, it was in Philly? Why do you have a soda tax? That's weird. Do we have that
Tax
here?
on sugar.
I don't think so.
Yes, I didn't know it until I looked at the receipt and thought that was one of the most expensive subs I had in my entire life. I paid over 200. No, I didn't. I paid 100 some. I could have eaten a lot better, a lot more at any fast food restaurant. Of course, it's an airport, but still, it was crazy expensive. It is more than Danish prices. Well, it didn't help, Marissa.
Well, is it going to help anyone? Really? Has it helped anyone? I mean,
No, it's just a stupid. It's like CO2 taxes so the farmer won't make as much CO2. They doesn't care. They just raise the price on milk. Well, because if a NATO nation attacks another NATO nation, can NATO intervene in that? I don't know. Is there anything more? Food. I don't care. And they let children drink a little. Unlike some countries, there are no laws preventing children from consuming alcohol. There are laws in place to stop purchase that were. It varies by the age according to strength. You can buy beers when you're 16, but you have to be 18 to buy spirits. So that doesn't mean the kids on the street that kids are on the street getting drunk. Have you ever been to Denmark? Instead, the positive culture leads to more relaxed attitude to alcohol. In terms of what they drink, the Carlsberg Brewery has been providing Denmark and the world with beer for over 150 years. The lesser-known Tuborg Brewery, now owned by Carlsberg, produces seasonal ale every year. Aquavit, meanwhile, is a spirit flavored with herbs such as dill that has been used in Scandinavia for hundreds of years. Yeah, well, I don't know why Tuborg is mentioned for producing a seasonal ale every year, because every beer company does it. That's why we have the J Day, where we get out and get hammered. I went on the J Day, yeah, because Christmas in Denmark is Jul. So the beers they make for Jul is called juleøl, Christmas beer. So the day they come out is Christmas beer day, which would be juleøl day. So we just shorten it from juleøl to J day. And you get hammered because you forget how strong they are. So you drink them. There will be some ladies dressed in enticing elf costumes coming around giving you free beer. And it's one of those days where you meet people you haven't seen in 20 years because everyone is out drinking. That day and the 25th of December, because we have our Christmas on the 24th, and on the 25th, you're so bored with your family, you go out drinking and you meet all the people you went to school with. That's the two best days to meet old friends.
Oh boy.
This year I was back home and on the experts because when I was standing in a bar drinking with 5 Inuits, I thought maybe it's a good idea I go home. Last year I met a guy and I ended up going home at 5 in the morning after he tried to pawn me some pina coladas that was I hate pina coladas. Yes, Tuborg's julebeer tastes like crap. You need the Odense Blålys. Well, Carlsberg can is okay. Yeah, Tuborg is well, Carlsberg owns both of them now, but Tuborg is way too sour. Hey, Pixie.
Hi, Pixie. Missed you.
No, I didn't say J date. We're not so many Jewish people here.
I know. That's what I thought you was talking about at first.
And then we have what's called a blue Coke. That's a CS Royale because the can is blue when you go to Germany and buy them cheap. Little trick. If you ever go to a camping spot in Denmark, someone will have a case of those and says, "You want one?" Say yes. It's a good beer.
A blue Coke?
Yeah, CS Royale. That's a blue Coke because we don't drink. So, well, it's just a blue Coke. Is it a paid holiday? Which one? No, the J date. No. They had to move it back in the day. I think it was on a Thursday. Now they have moved it to a Friday because no one went to school on the Friday after. I think it used to be the first Thursday in, I want to say October, no, maybe November. First Thursday in November. And then everyone got hammered and no one went to school on the Friday. So they changed it so it's on the Friday because no one has to go to school on a Saturday. Doesn't matter. You can still drink on a Thursday because you're pre-game, so you're ready for the big one on the Friday. Yeah, snow beer, Snippeyer. If you like pina coladas. Well, they have it kind of rough still. Even a Coke can be called a mahogany beer. I never heard that before. Watney's Red Barrel from England with the nitrogen. I never understood that one, the nitrogen ball. And when you buy a Guinness in a can and there's this ball, never understood those.
What?
We missed you too, Pixie. In America, everyone is Irish on St. Paddy's Day. I had Irish in me plenty of times. I bet you did.
Oh my God. Love you, Luna.
Cola hides rum well. You should just drink more expensive rum so you drink it neat. I learned that from Filarowski. Some surprising things are controlled by the government. One area that might be considered odd to most people is naming of children. We have a list of 7,000 names that are pre-approved for baby names, so you will never meet a Danish Chardonnay or a Gaga. That's right.
What? Really?
Yeah. We have a list.
You have to have an approved name.
Well, You can ask for a name.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the kind of names that people are giving their children nowadays are ridiculous, but
I can show you. We have this where you can say this is approved first name. So let's say, do you want a boy's name, girl's name, or unisex name? What do you want, Jamie?
unisex name. What are your guys? Yeah, I wonder what your unisex.
What should it start with?
An S.
What more?
Like more letters.
Yeah, what does it end with?
What does it end with?
Yeah, you can say the name starts with, the name contains, or the name ends with. We can probably say the name starts with S. How many letters at minimum?
How many letters?
At-
7.
How many at maximum?
12.
I'm not sure we have anything that long. There's 5 names. You can name Sequoia, Shaheen, Shakti, Shannon, or Spencer.
Or Spencer? That's so normal.
So these are approved names in Danish with between 7 and 12 letters in
Aw.
them. So
Shakoya. Is that what the name was? One of the names
Yeah.
was. These are unisex names?
well, I wouldn't say they're unisex, but yeah,
Well, that's what I
because
picked.
Shaheen is a Muslim girl's name, so I don't think it's unisex.
Normally Shannon is too, but
Your buddy named his son Swayze. Not even kidding. We couldn't do that in Denmark. You can see that. Jamie isn't on that list, I bet. Well, girl's name starts with a J.
my name's actually a unisex name.
Well,
So
we
I
could
wonder-
figure it out.
We'll
Ends
see.
with an E. 5. How many names can we figure out? There's 250 names.
Just type it in there.
Jamie
look
is a
at
unisex
that.
name.
It is here too. Isn't
Is it
that
true?
precious?
Is it true that Danish windmills rotate opposite the Dutch windmills? I never heard that one before. It's because that's all the approved names you can have in Denmark. You can apply to call them something else, but you can get a no. Said no, you can't call your little boy Lady Gaga, Madonna, Patrick Swayze.
Why not?
Why are Swedes traditionally perceived to be blonde with blue eyes, but not Norwegian or Danes? Danes are perceived to be blonde and blue-eyed too. Norwegians, because they're kind of like we don't talk about it. It's the funny cousin with the lisp who lives in the outhouse. That's how we perceived Norwegians for a long time. Now they're richer than us, but we still don't like them. But no, all Nordic types are described as tall but blue eyes and blonde hair, I believe.
Oh my God.
No one questioned my kid's name, but I didn't name him Blanket. Maybe they should question some names. It's a bit surprising that Broken Baker made the approved name list. Well, that's because it's a nom de guerre. I'm not sure I could be named Baker in Denmark. I have to figure that out. If it's a girl's name, I'm gonna lose it. Well,
So like when you pick the name, do you have to like have it approved before you can like move on?
no, most people are reasonable people, so we just pick a name we know works. You can't be named Baker in Denmark. Oh, because it's a girl's name, probably. Doot, doot. You can be called Baker. It's a boy's name in Denmark.
Baker or
Bakir.
Bakir.
That's probably a Muslim name. So you could be a Baker. But no, you don't. Well, you can get like a name Tinder now. So you can sit and swipe left or right if you are having a baby. You can sit and say, I like Baker. It's a cool name. And your spouse can say, you're an idiot, and swipe left. So you can match up to see what names you like together. But again, most times, my names weren't checked, and they were approved. Well, one of them is named after the Nordic god of love and war, so of course it was approved. But my oldest daughter's name is actually, it's a Danish name, but with a Swedish spelling. So, but that's approved too. It's not a problem. It's just because Danish names end in an E and Swedish names end in an A. Because Pernilla would be Pernille in Danish. So we just to annoy my daughter, we gave her a first name no one figures out is her first name, and her last name is so weirdly spelled that no one can figure it out too. A man named Shannon. Yeah. Sequoia is I think that's a tree.
The sequoia tree.
My name is Veronica, but my nickname is Ronnie. Yeah, well, my nickname is the first 5 letters in my last name. It's weird how nicknames come around. Why is female pig something in Danish? It's not pig something, it's pige. It's girl. Pige. Not pig a. The expert is not an approved name.
Hi, expert.
Can I call my kid Rambo? We'll have to figure it out. I don't think you can do it. Maybe you can. Nope. Rambo isn't allowed as a first name. You could probably put it in as a middle name. Government regulated names will never fly in the US. No.
God, no.
But not allowing foreigners to drink in a bar, even if they're clearly more than 21 years old, 27, is absolutely a-okay with these freedom-loving Americans. You can't touch their names, but you can touch their drinking buddies.
You're real
Well,
salty, aren't you? I love it.
I will remember that for the rest of my life. Well, you can't call your baby Mary. Mary is an approved name. At Christmas, you probably have it as a middle name.
Merry
No, I
Christmas.
actually think because we used to have a writer called Christmas, it might be a family name that's protected. We have that weird rule by if not enough people have had the name, you can't take it, because all of my siblings have. My two older brothers are my half siblings, and they have a name from their dad as their middle name. And my sister married her into a guy that gave her the same letter as a middle initial. So we're looking into it if we can go back and find one in our history I could use, so I would have the same like the rest of them. But we couldn't because there wasn't enough of the family who have had that name, so I could take it. And it was Bush, so it could have been Bush Baker.
Bush Baker.
Yeah. Talking about being a bush. Hey, Lefty.
Hi, Lefty.
Have $5. I wish we could have hung out when you were in the States. You're a real bro. Oh, I was about to say something nasty about you, and then you're that. Are you sick?
I told Baker he needs to come to the Midwest.
And I said if I can get 6,000 subscribers, I would do a USA tour again. I didn't say when I would do it, but it's better than saying I would eat cheesecake again. Thank you, Lefty. I would love to meet you too. You could take me to the casino and show me where the loaded dice are. 79 Rambo in Sweden. I actually have a buddy I know because they are a migrant family, and his dad thought, well, give them Danish names so they'll fit right in. So he called him Rocky. Yes, like that, Rocky. Super Danish name.
All right.
So yeah. But I know. Jamie, it's been those hours. I think I'm going to round it off because we have something to do tomorrow.
I know. Big day.
What are we doing? What are we doing tomorrow, Jamie?
We have the Karen Reed continuation saga.
What time?
9 a.m.
9 o'clock.
Nerf o'clock.
9.
I thought you were going to say moist o'clock. Your favorite new thing.
Jamie, please don't use that kind of language when I'm around you.
Oh, I hate that.
9 is 9 in French. Moist o'clock.
You're so
I'm what? You started it.
It's such your favorite thing to say for like 2 days straight.
I never ever mentioned anything.
You did.
Oh, I forgot the last fact. Overall, though, they are pretty progressive nation. In 1969, giggity, 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 Denmark was the first country in the world to legalize knorren, and it can be found everywhere, including on TV. The Danes have a healthy liberal attitude towards smecks. They were also the first nation in the world to legalize same-sex unions. This came in 1989, and since then 20 other countries have followed suit. Opinion polls in Denmark show support amongst the public is 86%. I didn't know we had polls about that. So that was some weird things about Denmark. I thought that we could do now we had nothing else to do. But I love that we released Call in 69.
Oh my god.
Giggity, giggity, giggity.
That's fun. But anything else we have to talk about? No. Can read tomorrow 8:50, like usual.
Yep.
Is there more? I don't think so. Higgins on the table. No Alan Jackson tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what they'll start with. They're still on cross.
Yeah, but Alan Jackson wouldn't be there tomorrow. That's
Why?
That's one of the things he said. I believe he said Friday. That's why they was trying to end him early. So because Alan Jackson couldn't be there tomorrow.
Well, then why did she end it? She's such a D-bag.
I don't know, Jamie. Why are you yelling at me?
Just yelling.
Jackson has another case this week. Yeah, it's probably something like that. So he won't be able to make it, which is kind of annoying because he's good and he kind of got. I think he got him rattled a bit. So
Well, I mean, Yannetti can step in. It's fine. I like him too.
yeah,
I just love my Jackson. He's
a good one.
Oh my god, he's so good.
But no, that would be it. No, I don't think I have anything else to say other than
Yeah.
who's next after Higgins? Anybody know? No. I thought they talked about some lady, but I'm not sure.
No, I hope it's Proctor. Like, come on already.
Yeah, that's what I talked to that guy I did that podcast with today.
How'd that
Proctor.
go?
Well, we had some technical difficulties, and we just talked a bit, and he didn't know when he was going to release it, but when he releases it, I'll talk about it.
That's cool.
Yeah, he was a good guy. He had more than 200 episodes on his podcast.
Nice.
Make it a 24-hour stream. This one, nope. This was fun. Everything I need to know about Denmark and then some. Well, and the fun part is, the more questions you ask, the more random stuff I can pick up. That's the reason Karen Reed was called to the sidebar and sworn in to make sure there was no issues with that. Okay. Apparently, according to Flux, that's not a thing. Not Proctor, he wasn't there Friday. I think they said... No, Kimberly wasn't the name. I heard a name, I'm not sure. No. If they bring him on the stand, he will not plead the fifth. Everyone was talking about, oh, Higgins has flipped. No, he didn't. Because as long as they are on the state's witness list, they haven't flipped. That's the best indication, because the state would never, ever bring someone on the stand who said, I plead the fifth. He knew he was being investigated before. If he pleads the fifth, this entire case goes to all heck. So he won't plead the fifth.
Yeah.
Make it in a continuous stream until Karen Reed. Well, if I had some sleep, it's a short day tomorrow. I could probably have done it, but I have to prepare for it. I have something to do tomorrow too. Oh, I'm trying to make... try to make hot honey.
It's going to be a full day tomorrow.
What?
It's
It's
a full
Tuesday.
day tomorrow. Yeah, but they're
making
it a full day.
Why wasn't I informed?
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, because she said we'll be back Tuesday, but it'll be a full day. Right? Am I crazy? Yeah, because Friday was a full day, and she said Tuesday would be a full day.
Not hard honey, hot honey. Only day, full day. Well, then it's not going to be a 24-hour stream, because then I need some sleep. Jesus. Yeah,
It's gonna be a full day because they're off the rest of the week. So.
No, but I bought honey today. I'm going to try to make hot honey, because that was really good on pizza.
You can't buy it already made?
No,
at all?
because
Really?
I live in a normal country. We don't have stuff like that.
Well, now they all make anything that's regular honey. They have hot honey too. So, how are you going to make it?
I think you just have to boil it, or not boil, but heat it up with chilies in them.
I was going to say, put some like red chili flakes in it. See if that
Yeah,
works.
I have red chili flakes. So
Be good. I love hot honey on everything. On chicken, it's really good too.
I don't need chicken. I don't like vinegar, so I'm trying to. I have a pot of honey, and I'll try to heat it up slowly, so it's not boiling, but just gets. And then I'm gonna leave the chili flakes in there for, I think they said 10 minutes, so I'm going to do it for 15 minutes just to get a little spicy. You know I like it spicy.
Mm-hmm.
Just add chili flakes, cook a bit, and then it's good. Yeah, I got 2 small marmalade glasses, so it should be good. You gotta go. Bye. See you, Marissa. Spicy is
Hi,
the
Marissa.
best. Honey has an indefinite shelf life. Never goes bad if properly stored. No, because it's pure sugar. Sugar doesn't go bad. That's why you used honey to treat wounds in olden times, because they wouldn't go. They wouldn't. It's true, Jamie. Didn't you know that?
Didn't
Honey-
we talk about
honey-
this? It was like honey and cayenne pepper or something.
No, that's from the
Oh, that's from a terrible trouble. Sorry.
that's from. But honey
God.
honey is antiseptic, and you can put it on, and it'll. It's good for wound treatment.
Oh. Go
You
right
learn
ahead.
a lot. What?
I said, go right ahead and use that. Yeah, I'll be fine.
Oh.
Your Honor, I apologize.
What exhibit are you referring to?
I'm going to make this 100, Your Honor. 100, because it is 100% correct.
Objection, Your Honor.
Do you see the lawyer's face? Okay, we have to go back and they.
Widower case.
Did you, whether it's true or not, believe that Mr. Randolph had slept with your wife?
I was scared.
You wouldn't have cared?
No,
Did you believe he had slept with your wife?
no,
Did you believe he slept with your mother-in-law?
probably did. Everybody
Wait a minute, I need this story time.
Everybody has.
Everybody has.
Everyone has slept with his mother.
If I showed you.
Oof.
Oh my God.
I'm having a Jamie moment. And the way he just said it, he was just like, everyone did. Things on YouTube.
Mr. Randolph, do you?
I got to get some man. You don't
You
know.
called him chicken shit.
That's right. You was chicken shit.